Hello and welcome to Idle Chat with the Wait What podcast. How are we all doing, guys?
Hello, looking in that queue.
We're looking like we interrupted you there. You're just like, ugh. The fuck do you want, bruv? You want?
But mate.
Yeah.
No. The guy sitting next to you.
Nah, he's cool.
Look like I've disturbed myself.
Yeah. How dare you?
I'm very relaxed.
Tell you what, Mitch, that teddy bear that is in the corner behind you is very creepy. See it just peering around. Did you see it? Just peering.
Yeah.
It's been peering up. That one up there. It's been the bright little been peering into my soul for the last couple of weeks.
I saw it move once.
Yeah, they stay there. Don't touch them.
Yeah, no, don't do that. No.
If
If it's been creeping you out too, there it is. Tell us
you
it's
should
creepy.
see what's behind the TV.
I don't want to see it.
It's a China doll.
Oh.
Oof.
Man.
No, I don't fuck with them. No, I don't.
Nina's the creepy dolls.
I don't fuck with them at all. Nope.
Nina's mom's doing creepy dolls. I don't like creepy dolls.
Nope. Give me a hammer. Nope.
You will not touch a hammer anywhere near them.
Nope. No, that's for me. To myself. I want to do with that. Take me away.
Anyway. Topic of discussion that people have clicked on.
Listen, okay. I keep seeing this the age-old conversation that people keep having around sport, and it keeps popping up on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. It keeps popping up about specifically football. I won't say the other thing because I refuse to acknowledge it as that name. But it's mainly football and how should female footballers get paid the same amount as male? Obviously, it's not just a straight open shut yes or no answer because there are many variables that go into how much money is made, etc., etc., etc. So I thought that considering we all know a fair bit about sport, and between us we've probably got about 7 brain cells, we could discuss it because I'm fed up of seeing it and not talking about it.
Sure.
It's getting my nerves.
All right.
Fair enough.
So I did do a little bit of research. I say a little bit. I got quite a bit actually. So I was looking at it. For starters, the WSL, Women's Super League, it's Premier League basically. So I had a little look at what their average salary is as a start. So by the looks of it, the average salary of a female footballer in the WSL is between £25,000 to £27,000 a week. Not bad. Not bad little sum. Although, compared to the male equivalent, the average, and I was managed to find this, the average for a player under the age of 23 was £44,375 a week. And from 23 and above was £62,500 a week. So it's already a considerable jump there. I also found out that the Lionesses, which is the England women's team, for those who are unaware, they received a £55,000 bonus each for winning the Euros, and apparently they also get paid £2,000 per appearance, same as the men. I didn't know that. I didn't know the men got paid. I thought they just got a cap.
I thought the men only got a cap.
I thought that.
Well, I actually know the men do get paid, but they just usually waive it and either send it to charity or something.
Yeah, it's £2,000 a game. They normally get paid.
Yeah, they usually just send that to charity
which is crazy.
Like £2,000 nothing.
Yeah.
To them.
So I mean, it's normally around the Prem that I see a lot of people talking about how the women's Premier League should be getting paid the same amount as the men's. So I had a little look, and obviously, if you don't know much about football or sport in general, one, you're about to get very lost in here. And two, let me break it down for you. The way football teams would generate their income would be through three things: ticket sales, broadcasting rights, and commercial deals. So let's put it this way: the average attendance for a Premier League game is 39,000. Obviously, some grounds are bigger, some grounds are smaller. That number I don't believe is 100% accurate because there aren't a lot of grounds that can hold that many people. Spurs' new ground probably could. Emirates probably can.
Yeah.
West Ham's ground can. Wembley can. Old Trafford, Anfield, Etihad. Actually, quite a few actually. Some James's Park. That's probably about it.
Yeah, Stamford Bridge is a bit small.
Stamford Bridge, yes, it's shit anyway. Shit thing. And the average price for a ticket is £65 on average. Again, a number I don't fully believe because I've seen how much it is for certain teams. Whereas the WSL's average attendance is 1,931 people at £9 a ticket.
Yeah.
So there is the first problem in why you won't see the money being generated there.
And and that's kind of like a kind of common theme I think you find among like other women's sports when it comes to like for the American equivalent, the WNBA doesn't get the same.
I do have WNBA figures too, if you would like to hear them.
So, like for attendance kind of thing.
I don't have the attendance, but I have the prices. I couldn't find the attendance, but I could find the prices of a ticket.
Okay.
So the average for a WNBA ticket is $47, which is a lot bit more expensive than I thought because people normally say, "Oh, it's cheap as shit," and no one wants to go and see it.
What about the NBA?
And the NBA is $85 to $95 a ticket on average.
So it's double, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're a lot closer to the action, really, in basketball, isn't it? In a lot of cases.
Well, even a WNBA, you get courtside
a bit more. Yeah.
Oh, courtside's dumb. That's why you always see famous people courtside. It's just expensive. You either need to know someone, you've won something, or you're dying or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know it's true.
But yeah, in those kind of sports, they like the level of interest maybe has not resulted in large ticket sales. I feel like there is more of an effort now with women's football where the TV rights is kind of like now there's more broadcast rights. It's on women's games are now shown more on Sky and highlighted up, and then that will generate more fan interest, which will then get more fans to go into ticket sales.
Yeah. Well, funny you should say that because I do have the don't have the exact, but I have some figures about the broadcasting rights and stuff.
I have the average attendance for the WNBA.
Shoot.
All right, cool.
787,000. That's the whole season.
Yeah, over a year.
The whole year.
I don't know how many people that is a game. I don't know how many people. It's hard to work out. I don't fully understand.
Let me put it like the NBA, they play a lot of games. They play like 84 games.
Yeah, there is a lot of games. There plus playoffs. Don't forget plus playoffs.
Yeah, that's a lot of games as well. So if you're thinking about like the average attendance over that one, it's got to be in the millions, surely.
Easy. I would say probably double. Honestly, I'd probably say double.
Oh, I heard a cat.
That's Tigger. Tigger wants to get in the bathroom, but he can't because the door's shut. He's got separation anxiety. He's obsessed.
Yeah. Average fans watching 5,679.
What, per game?
Yeah. Watching each regular season game.
In basketball terms, probably not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people. Because you see them, you see them seats, you see them games. People are packed, mate. They're in the rafters. They're there.
Yeah.
So the TV rights. So there's currently a deal for. I think they're in the middle of the WSL UK TV deal. It's worth £8 million.
Okay,
However,
that's low. That's low.
The men's. This is the one I was telling you about earlier, where it's slightly different. The men's broadcasting deal. This is without any of the overseas earnings. Is £10 billion.
And that
billion.
And that is spread between all 20 teams in the Premier League. based on their decision.
Yeah, this is why
A year as well. This is a year.
This is a year. It's
Yeah,
10 billion pounds
a year, and yeah, that is mainly because the Premier League garners the attention from across the world, and therefore
I don't care what anyone says. The Premier League is
Right,
the
so
biggest
they-
league in the world. It's the biggest league in the world.
It is the
Don't
biggest
care what
league in
anyone
the
says.
world.
The biggest league in the world
Yeah.
is the best football. That's why it draws so much money.
But by the same token, like the 8 million that's the women's
That's
league's
huge
getting,
for them. It's
it's
huge.
biggest that they've ever got, and it's only going to get bigger as the game becomes more popular and gets more interest.
I think the problem,
more people in seats.
yeah, the problem is, right, what I feel is I heard, I think Shaq said this about women's basketball, I think it was Shaq. I could be wrong. I think I've heard multiple people say, but I've seen the video where Shaq talks about it. Is saying lower the height of the hoop because a lot of them female players can't dunk because it's too high. And like I think in basketball, I've played it when I was in college and stuff, but not like in college. I played it because I did sport and it was there. We played it. And a lot of people were just interested in shooting threes and dunking. Now, in the NBA, how many times someone dunking? Every 5 fucking seconds, someone's getting dunked on.
There was an argument with this in the WSL about goals being made smaller.
This is exactly the point I'm about to make as well. So I'm glad you said that. I feel... All right, look, I've never been the biggest fan of women's football. I will say it. I don't care. I'm allowed my opinion. I don't like women's football because the goalkeepers are terrible. And I feel like it may be because, one, there's not enough funding for grassroots football. That's the main stem of the problem. And secondly, I feel like the goals are too big.
With girls' football, grassroots anyway, there's not many. I don't think there's many idols at the moment for young girls to want to go and play football.
Probably now. Now is because seeing as they won the Euros,
yeah,
that is really. I feel like in the build up to them winning the Euros, and since they've won it, in this country at least, I have not seen so many female footballers on TV. I've not seen. There's so many. Yeah. They're everywhere. I don't know who the fuck they are personally, but I know they play for England.
And also, they're working as pundits, and they're working as interviewers, and they're working as presenters as well on TV shows, which is also a good way of
reality TV too.
Yeah, now it's making women feel like they can get in. Exactly, and that is kind of like we'll see the bearings of this in the future. I personally feel in grassroots football for kids football that we should just have you shouldn't separate boys and girls because there may not be that many girls interested in football was what kind of like the theory was in the past.
That is a big issue as well. If you separate, not many girls, you can't have a team.
I feel like you can just have girls and boys at a certain age just be a team together.
There's up to a certain age. I would say 13 because a lot of kids by 13 they're either in or they're out. There's no I'm doing it because when they're younger, most of them kids are going because they're being told, you're going to play football. So we're going to play football every Sunday. You get to 13, you start making your own decisions, and also at that point, you go down that road of girls are starting to develop, boys starting to develop. They're starting to be a bit like, okay, maybe keep them apart because also, I feel like at grassroots because grassroots isn't good enough. At grassroots, I feel like the game is rough as arseholes. It is it's brutal. It's rough, and I don't not to try and sound like girls at that
league and stuff.
Yeah, like at that age, when they start playing,
that's too old though.
No. But when you get to that level, that's when it starts getting competitive. It starts getting a bit rough, and people start flying into challenges and things. I feel like you can't have them at that age because you're going to get a lot of people that either aren't going to go in for the challenges because it's a girl, or someone's going to get crunched by a girl and then not play anymore because they got crunched by a girl. You see what I'm saying? It's not only the physical, it's also a mental thing that it goes both ways. But there should be more. There should be more funding in grassroots, not even just for football in general, just in general.
And then I feel like a lot of say like 5, 6, 7 years ago or whatever with like women's football. Before, so probably a lot longer. Is what I'm thinking of. But for what I remember with women's football, the most dominant women's football team was Arsenal. Because Arsenal women's just were
they won
the league.
everything.
Exactly, and it felt like it was because only Arsenal were investing into that area of the game. They were the only ones recruiting girls and training them up in an academy. Now, Chelsea have got a really good women's team. Man City have got a really good women's team, and Tottenham have even made it into the league where we had no kind of like.
Do you know
our women's team was really low down.
Do you know Chelsea have got the highest paid female footballer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Sam Kerr.
Yeah, and that's only becoming because of like the academy producing like world class now English players, whereas over in America they've always had world class American women's soccer teams.
See,
and they pay better over there as well.
You say world class. I've got a breakdown of their earnings. Actually, you say world class. I think they're one of the most overrated football teams ever.
Well,
because they have been world class and running it at arguably one of the lowest and technically worst points of football. As football's got better, they haven't been dishing out whippings.
Yeah, I mean, now that the Women's World Cup is coming in the summer, it'll be interesting to see if anyone can.
Now that women's football is being played at a higher level, they ain't as good. And I'm sorry, but there's one. I don't like a lot of people. It's not a secret.
You're gonna say
fucking what is it? I fucking hate her so fucking much. She's full of so much shit. Saying how it annoys me because she's like, we deserve more money. It's like, all right, cool. Fair enough. You don't get paid enough. Not a problem. You don't generate any extra income. So where's the money coming from? Oh, yeah, we should take it from the men. So you want them to subsidize the fact that you can't draw money and punish them. The men's national team.
This is over in America, though.
Yeah, the men's. Yeah, I'm saying their men's national team. They ain't. Let's be honest. All right, England can't necessarily beat them. We've won a World Cup. They haven't. End of story. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Even though England won it, West Ham won it. Not the point I'm getting at. But still, the fact that prick. No, forget it. The fact that cunt thinks that they can just because Queen Karen says that they can take the fucking subsidy, you think they're going to do it? No. This is a breakdown, right? This is a breakdown of the salary for the NWSL.
Okay.
So the minimum salary, they have a minimum and a maximum because they don't have enough money, so they have to cap it. The minimum is $35,000. The maximum is $75,000.
Is that a month, week, year?
That's that I believe is a week.
That's still better. It's still better than the average working person.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's all fucking 35 grand a week is what I earn in the year.
Exactly.
Do fucking 1 month's work, mate. I'm laughing.
They want to get paid fucking stupid amonts.
Right,
well,
so
but then other athletes in the top of their sport, kind of being in America, get paid stupid amounts of money as well.
Don't worry when I tell you the WNBA fucking money and stuff like that. Like compared to that, it pisses. Well, actually, to be fair, it doesn't. But anyway, so they get it's weird because they've got like a regular season and an off-season trophy, which is bizarre. I don't understand the MLS in both versions of it. It's a weird concept of let's have a league and then. Even though you finish first, all it means is you're qualifying for a knockout. It's bizarre. I don't get it.
It's Super Bowl
sort of format as the Super Bowl.
Kind of, yeah.
You win your league.
It is.
You win your division.
But the thing is, it's separate. That makes sense though because it's separate divisions. Winners play. This is one table. You finish top. Congratulations, you qualify. What do you mean I qualify? You finish top in the Prem, you're fucking champions. End of story.
Yeah.
It's weird. But anyway, they have the NWSL Shield, which is, I believe, their regular season. That's their Prem. That's their trophy. You win that, it says $5,000. I'm assuming each player gets given $5,000. The NWSL champion, which would be weird, which makes no sense because you'd be champion during the season and then Shield off season. Again, I don't get it. That's another $5,000 each. This is on top of their salary and without any endorsements and stuff like that. The runner-up, they get $3,750. Semi-finalists get 2.5. Quarter-finalists get 1.25. The Challenge Cup champion, which I'm assuming is like FA Cup. FA Cup. They get 1,000. Runners up of that get $500. So yeah, you got 500 quid for being a runner up in a tournament. Best 11 award. If you get selected in that, you win $5,000. Get this though. Rookie of the Year now receives $5,000. Can you tell me what the reward used to be? You'll never get it. You'll never get it in a million years.
Was it
You're
higher
close.
or lower than that?
It's lower than that.
$50.
Close. You're on the right amount. You received a $50 Chipotle gift card.
Yay!
For being the Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is
Mad,
crazy.
isn't it? But it's changed. It's $5,000 now, which is
It
good.
could have been worse. It could have been
to be honest,
a $50 Home Depot gift card.
To be fair, $50 Chipotle card, I can get down with that. If you win MVP, $5,000. Golden Boot, $5,000. Defender of the Year, $5,000. Goalkeeper of the Year, $5,000. And
like
All-Star.
Golden
And if you
Glove?
made yeah, pretty much. Oh well, Goalkeeper of the Year. That's what it says. I'm assuming it's Golden Glove. And All-Star bonus. Can you guess how much it is?
$5,000.
$50 gift card.
No,
For
$2,000.
Oh.
You get $2,000 for making the All-Star team, which is bizarre.
But
Yeah.
then saying that if you get like say for instance you're a defender, you get Defender of the Year, you make the 11, and you get the All-Star team. You've made a lot of money there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, yes, to a regular person, indeed, yes.
Yeah.
The footballers, no.
I
But then
feel-
if you compare this, I've got the MLS as well, like the equivalent, the men's. So the average wage, it did have a maximum and a minimum, but it didn't say what it exactly was. It just says the average wage for an MLS player is £10,500 a week.
So that's less than the women's.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's only for the American players because MLS has this weird system where if you're allowed, was it 4 or 5?
I think they're called. There's a term for it where you've got certain players have got specific contracts. I.e., Messi will not be earning £10,500 per week. Messi will be earning £10,500 per fucking second.
And to keep the league fair, they only allow that certain number of eligible players.
So comparing the two, if you win the MLS, you receive $300,000 for the team. That's then divvied up and distributed, which again is weird. It's weird concept. Runners up receive $1,500. No, not $1,500. $150,000. That's a fucking jump that would be. Yeah. Semi-finalists, $100,000. Quarter-finalists, $47,500, which is weird because it's not even 50. It doesn't even cut it in half. They tax you for that shit. If you get knocked out in the round 16, because I'm pretty sure after that you get like a round 16 when you go the top. Like, well, how many teams are in the MLS?
There are 29.
Damn, are that many?
Yeah.
Shit.
I've got all their average annual salaries.
They've been busy. They've been busy. So 20,000 if you get knocked out of round 16. Group stages is 14,000. If you win the MLS Cup, you get 275,000 for your team, and if you win the Supporter Shield, it's 100,000. I don't know how much that works out to per player, but it doesn't sound like that much more, to be honest.
Say, for instance, average team has about 23 players.
So you divide that. That's only if it goes to players. What about if it goes to what about staff? Do staff not receive a slice, or do they have a completely separate contract where they're paid by the club? I don't know. It's obviously I don't know the ins and outs.
Yeah.
Maybe we
So
can get
if-
some. We know plenty of Americans.
So if
Maybe
the
some
av-
people can give us
if
the
they get the
lowdown.
100,000 between 23 players, it's 4,347.
So it's less.
Yeah,
Bear in mind that is if you win the
That's if
supporter
it-
shield.
yeah,
That's the
if you
lowest
win
one. I
that
don't know.
And
I
it's
don't know if that's
divided just
like.
by
Yeah, I don't know if that's just like the Carabao Cup or
What's
the
the
Community
highest one?
Shield. Highest one, I'm doing it right now, is the MLS winners. So that's 300,000. You say 23?
Yeah.
That's $13,043.47 per person. So for argument's sake, $13,000 per player.
That's obviously more
It's
than
it's nearly 3 times the amount.
Can I just quickly interrupt quickly? Because
You already have.
podcast related as well. Dave, you no longer have to do salt and pepper.
Oh yeah, because Harvey Barnes has gone to Newcastle.
Yeah, they just announced him.
So
David Snape, he only has to do pepper.
that means I will be snorting pepper soon. On the podcast.
Excellent.
Um,
Anyway,
so then the women's kind of do have a point about kind of like pay gap. Like
they do, yes, but I couldn't find any figures about
one thing that's good.
what's it called? Like stadiums selling out and attendance.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. Attendance.
One thing that is good is that with, like you mentioned earlier, more women footballers now being featured in like adverts and like sponsor deals, like things like that. They're obviously making more of that sponsorship money and that's like commercial deals, which then it helps increase their popularity, which then means they can argue for higher wages to stay at the club. Because obviously, if you're a high-profile women footballer, you want to be at the most high-profile club, and they want to keep.
I think I read earlier that the NWSL has increased their the cap because they've got caps on how much they can spend and how much they can pay players.
Yeah.
They've actually increased it. So if they wanted to sign, is it Sam Kerr, the one who plays for Chelsea?
Yeah.
She gets paid £475,000 a week, a year. I think it can't be a week. It must be a year.
No, it's going to be a week. She's hired a lot of Premier League players.
Yeah.
Then she'll be. That's how much she's on a week.
She's on 401,309 per year. Per year.
Per year. So that's a year.
Yeah.
So she's on 400 grand a year. She could be signed by an MLS and NWSL team. Apparently, that team will not be able to pay anybody else more than $75,000 a week. I think that might be because that's the maximum. They can't go any higher than that because of apparently the way it works.
Yeah.
So it's growing. Like, don't get me wrong, it's growing, but I will stand by the fact that I believe that you cannot demand more money until you generate it. But I get it. These leagues have been around for. I mean, the Prem has not been around that long. Let's be honest. It's only been around
since 91.
Exactly. The Prem's been around 30 odd years. But men's foot, like League One, old Division 1 and stuff's been around for years before that. So it was still established. It just changed its name.
Yeah.
There are obviously like the main reason for this all happening is men's fault, really. This misogyny and stuff that have been keeping women down so that the game didn't become popular and that no one would buy into it. And men believing that no man wants to see a woman playing football unless she's like not wearing any clothes or anything like that. Stupid things that have been said by men over the years. Oh, you can look it up. Men have said like some stupid things. Footballers and stuff.
I am man. I have seen said things.
The FIFA president, Sepp Blatter, I swear he said once that...
that geezer's a fucking moron. You sound about FIFA. You sound about FIFA and you sound about like deals and stuff. They are like the women's teams are very heavily featured in the new EA game coming out. Yeah. Heavily, like they're really going for it. So that'd be more money too.
Mixed teams in the EA game.
Yeah, you got mixed teams in that as well. Yeah, but carry on what you were saying before.
So so that's the main reason of the football kind of thing. But and then for other sports as well, like the WNBA, like women's cricket, like golf and stuff like that, other kinds of sports women compete in. However, other sports which you can argue are like about popularity and things like that when it comes to men and women. Like men's football is more popular, women's football, men's cricket is more popular, women's cricket, rugby, everything over here in the UK. Tennis is arguably equally popular each way. So you get as many you probably arguably get bigger tennis women's stars like the Williams sisters were like bigger stars than any kind of like male tennis player on their own.
Yeah.
Mainly because they're American and stuff like that, especially like for that reason. And yet their pay for a long time was a lot less than the men until like in the Grand Slams and things like that up until the mid 2000s. When it finally changed, all the Grand Slams then paid all the winners equally. I think it's like 350,000 for Wimbledon, 250,000 for the US Open. So on that respect, and you can. I think the argument was that the men would pay 5 sets and the women would pay 3. But like nowadays, I think that the women do play 5 sets, and so in order to get like the to get equal pay, for equal amount of work or whatever. But during the normal tennis tour, where they play all the little tournaments in between, all those tournaments are still are separate. I think I saw somewhere that for a male tennis player competing throughout the whole tour for like all the tournament winnings, if they won every single tournament, they would get like 6.8 million in like all the winnings. But obviously, there's a lot of tournaments. There's a lot of tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah. Physically, I don't think your body could handle that. That's a lot.
And also all the Grand Slams as well. Whereas women on the women's side, it was 3.9 million. So it's like nearly half. So on those kind of respects of like being a similar sport and equal popularity, they should be equal.
Yeah.
Whereas like the quality, and I get what you mean with like women's football not being up to the kind of standard of like the men's game, but that's only, as I said, become because of the grassroots and the training and things like that. Arguably the same with the other sports, but for like tennis and I don't know, like athletics, things like that, where the women's stars do get equal amount of like attention as the male stars. Like
probably women's boxing as well was another one, isn't it?
Women's boxing, women's MMA as well.
Women's tennis stuff. The highest earning female tennis player was Naomi Osaka. She made $53.2 million overall, but $52 million of it was from endorsements.
I was going to say that I've never heard of that tennis player in my life. So she must be like.
And then the second,
attractive is what I can assume.
The second highest is Serena Williams.
Yeah, I would have said that.
And she made $35.3 million.
And that's
with 35 million of it was from endorsements.
Yeah, so I can believe that.
So still, the majority of it was endorsements.
Well, she's a Nike athlete, isn't she? So
yeah, of course. Like she's
so she'll make a fucking mint.
Yeah, and good on her. But like I said, for those kind of things, like it's good that women athletes should get more opportunity to get the endorsements and stuff, not just like the skeevy ones.
Yeah. But don't be turning around saying that you deserve more money. You can have more money when you pull it. It's true though. You deserve the same as if the men's was doing it. The more money you pull, the more money you can have.
And hopefully now that, as I said, that now we're getting the opportunity of like people coming, the game progressing and getting more girls involved and stuff. I mean, look, even like, do you know about Forest Green Rovers hiring a female manager?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Like we're starting to get reputation of women managing in the game. I swear I heard something about like the Chelsea female manager taking the Chelsea job. There's a rumor of one.
I heard about that too. Yeah,
female referee for the Premier League now as well, or they're bringing one in. I know
they had female linos. They had female linos. Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure they tried out a full female like officiating team.
I think they did refs as well,
I think it was like the FA Cup final or something like that.
I know some people were a little bit hesitant about it because of players are very disrespectful to referees now. Very disrespectful.
But if they mic up the referees and you get to hear everything, they might not do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is what everyone's been calling for ages anyway.
In a good way and a bad way, really. Maybe maybe having female referees and make players not act like fucking such bastards, screaming and shouting in the referee's face, putting their hands all over him. Maybe they'll think twice because it's a woman. I know it's a bad way to think like that, but I'm just saying would that fall across their mind?
Well, it would if they were mic'd up. But either way, anyway, if both are mic'd up.
Well, they've done it in the French league, haven't they? They've mic'd up the referees in the French league.
They're slowly introducing it, but whether that will become a thing.
I mean, I'd rather watch the game with listening to the refs mic, to be honest.
As long as female refs get paid the same as male refs.
Yeah, because that is a bit. You're not there to draw money. Then you're there to do a job, and you're doing the same job. So yes, you deserve to have the equal money. If you're a lino, if you're a fourth official, if you're the ref, if you're working in the VAR room, you should get paid the same amount. That makes sense because you're not there. You're not on attraction. You're not a draw. You're not working. You're not trying to generate money for a league. You're there to call offsides. You're there to keep the fucking bench intact and try and you make sure you press them right buttons and put that number up right. Don't you make that mistake.
Women's Super League referees make 20 times less than their Premier League counterparts.
Ah, bollocks.
Yes, but again, how much money does the Premier League generate?
Yeah,
this is what you got to look at. It's the amount of money that the Premier League generates.
Yeah.
Sean Ellis officiates in both, so she does the Premier League and she does the WSL.
So she is stacking peas, mate. That's what she's doing. She is rolling in them Benjamins.
Representation is like slowly getting felt in like the majority of like.
It's going the right direction.
In wrestling, WWE have created female stars that get paid as much as their male counterparts.
Some are paid more than
Ronda
some
Rousey.
men.
Yeah, exactly. Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch.
If she isn't, Rhea Ripley should probably soon.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It's going that way. It's just that you can't have more money until you need to make the money. Where's it coming from? You know what I mean? You have to make the money. Like we say with the wrestling, they're getting paid more money because they draw money. People want to see them. I.e., if people want to watch women's football, they're going to buy the tickets. You can get like one of my mates had a season ticket for West Ham ladies. It was £75 for the whole season. He's just got a season ticket for the men's. Cost him over £600.
That's cheap. £600 for a season
Well,
ticket for the men's.
It's West Ham, with respect.
But still. But yeah, speaking about the tennis.
Not all season tickets are like fucking £1,500, Mitch, like Arsenal's. £1,500 to go and sit in a library.
I know. Speaking about tennis, there's a female who's worth the most in tennis out of all the men and women. She's worth $6.7 billion.
It's not Maria Sharapova, is it?
No, it's Jessica Pegula, which is more than Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic.
Pegula?
Yeah, Pegula.
I feel like I know that name.
Which is more than Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal.
Pegula?
Yeah.
P-A-G-U-L-A.
As in P-A-G.
P-E-G. Pegula.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
P-E-G-U-L-A.
Pegula. What's her name? Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just there she is. Jessica Pegula.
Oh, she earns money because she's the daughter of the Bills owner.
Well, she ain't that good. She lost in doubles. 6-3, 6-3 to the Germans.
You can't count that her family comes from money.
Well,
to be fair,
she's the richest female in tennis.
To be fair,
yeah, because she's the daughter of multi-billionaires.
No, to be fair to her, she's ranked world number 3 in 22, and she's world doubles number 2 in 2023. So she's not shit. Yeah. She's not shit, but
I didn't say she was shit. I just said that you can't count that the fact that she comes from a wealthy family as like
her prize money. Her prize money says here is $9.1 million. That's her prize money.
It's pretty good.
She's won 62% of her matches. She's currently ranked number 4 in singles.
Yeah.
But by the looks of it, she's never won
Did she get knocked out of Wimbledon?
The highest paid female in 2023 was Serena Williams.
Of course it was. Doesn't say that she got qualified. Oh, was that quarterfinals? Quarterfinals, semi-final, quarterfinal. Yeah, it doesn't look like she's actually won a Grand Slam. To be fair, if she'd won a Grand Slam, we'd have heard by now. How old is she? 29. How long she got left, do you reckon? I don't really know how long tennis players are on the.
As long as they can stay fit. Roger Federer played into his like 30s.
Serena is 41.
Yeah, but she's pretty much done, isn't she?
I think she hasn't. She didn't play in Wimbledon.
Yeah, but she's also, honestly, Serena Williams is also a freak athlete.
Yeah.
She could beat some of the men.
They did. Some. They did that.
They did that.
She did say. She did say, didn't she? Where she was like, Andy Murray wanted to play her, and even she turned around and said, like, no way, he serves the ball way too hard. I can't return that.
They did that with the movie. Emma Stone and Steve Carell.
That happened, didn't it?
It's based on a real
Billie Jean.
Real
Is it Billie Jean
King?
Something?
That's it.
Billie Jean King. That's it. Yeah.
That's her name. Yeah.
Billie Jean is not my lover.
But yeah.
It's a subject that needs to be spoken about because it often goes unchecked both ways. Where it's like, women's sports shit, and it's we want more money. Listen, it's on the incline. Women's sport, football specifically, because that's what keeps coming up, is on the incline. You can get more money. The problem is, you gotta make more money, man.
In Formula One, the median gender pay gap for Formula One teams is 22.9%. As an example, if a female earned 25,000, the male would earn 30,725.
I didn't even know there were female.
I didn't even know there was female Formula One dramas.
Yeah, I think there is one.
Is it called
one?
Is it called FF1?
It should be female Formula One.
Yeah, FF1. If it's not called FF1 and they change it to FF1, we said it first.
My question to you, Liam, is: will you be watching the Women's World Cup?
I'll be honest. No.
I had a notification just come up on my PC that said, "Do I want to see the scores?" I said no.
Will you?
I'll be honest.
Will you watch?
No.
Will you watch it if the England women go far?
No.
I didn't even watch it when the England women went far in the Euros.
No. And I'll be honest, when they said, England's women won the Euros, I didn't care. Because
it's not the World Cup.
It's not the World Cup. Even if the men won the Euros, I'd have been like, yeah, it's great, but it's not the fucking World Cup, is it? So you've only beaten half the teams that potentially you could have beaten. So it's like winning the fucking Carabao Cup. It don't count. It's stupid. I won't watch it because I just can't get over how some players lack of technical ability. And it's not their own fault. It's the lack of funding and training at grassroots level where they don't pick up all the fundamentals. And I feel like the goals are probably slightly too big for the keepers because they just don't seem to be as athletic as the players or the other keepers. And that's not saying that all men's keepers are athletic because they're not. Some men's keepers are absolutely fucking shocking. Look at that clown who plays for Chelsea. Shocking.
Kepa?
Yeah, that one. Useless. Because a lot of short goalkeepers, especially the men's ones, you tend to find they're like cats. They can manage to get from one side of the goal to the other in the blink of an eye. Whereas if some... I remember isn't like that small, is he? I'm thinking more Jordan Pickford.
Ben Foster's like... Jordan Pickford's like 6 foot, isn't he?
No, mate, Pickford's tiny. He can't even touch crossbar. I'm just saying I won't. It doesn't appeal to me because it doesn't grip. Even some men's football, I'm watching it and I turn it off, especially when I'm watching West Ham because I just can't watch that shit.
Let me put it like this: at the time of this episode coming out, which should be Saturday, England will have already played their first game in the Women's World Cup.
Yes,
they are at home to Haiti. Haiti women.
It's in Australia.
It is in Australia, so it's at 10:30 in the morning. I mean, look.
Okay, maybe I might watch it if it's at 10:30 in the morning. Because
I mean, yeah, you can watch it. You can watch it during work. Yeah,
I'd rather watch it than do work.
Just like the
Oh,
the
don't talk to me about that. That was such a glorious time. 4 games on in one day.
We can relive it.
We can't.
We can relive 3 of them.
There's
8 a.m.
4 games on the same day. United States versus Vietnam at 2 o'clock in the morning.
How much? What time?
That game is going to
2 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning.
That's
USA, Vietnam.
The first game we'll probably be able to watch is
Vietnam,
Zambia, Japan.
up the Kong.
Zambia and Japan will be on at 8 a.m. And then,
up the Japanese, mate. Up the Japanese. Let's go. Dave's going to cry again.
Yeah. We should have done our predictions.
Are the Japanese making it out of the group stage? Yes or no?
It's United States, Vietnam, Zambia, and Japan.
Yes, they are. I'm expecting England to thump Haiti about 10-0. Like, it's going to be a ridiculous scoreline.
I reckon they're going to win 8-0.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all happening. So
yeah.
Right, I'm gonna end it.
I'm not gonna watch it, but go and watch it because it needs the eyes.
We're gonna watch it.
I might put it on. I might not watch it, but I'll put it. I'll try my best.
If there is good coverage of Zambia versus Japan, I want to see that game.
I feel like it might even be on BBC. You know.
I think the thing is, I think they only just got TV deals to get the game.
Haiti? No, I think they've had TV for a while, mate.
No, I was on about the England football team getting coverage for it.
I feel like because we won the Euros, because we won the Euros, I feel like this will be covered.
You would hope.
Yeah. Well, we're off the point now. Let's go.
If not, illegally streamed, allegedly.
Is there a legal way of streaming?
Anyways, we should wrap this up nicely now.
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
Thank you for listening, guys. You can find all previous Idle Chats on all podcasting platforms, as well as all our main episodes on all podcasting platforms. Thank you and peace.
Come on, England women. Love's got the world in motion, and I know what we can do. Got to hold and give and do it at the right time.